I see. Okay,
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
so as of right now, most places are open accepting people.
Mhm.
There's obviously the normal backup because of limited resources in Orange County specifically,
Yeah.
as far as treatment centers that are taking them.
Mhm.
I've been using sober livings, which will, if they have any type of income coming in, that they can actually use part of that income and do
Yeah.
it off of a sliding scale, or
Mhm.
sign them up with some type of temporary work
Yeah.
while they're in the center. And besides that, it just feels like everything's changing from day to day. So I hate to say that anything's set in concrete, because
Yeah.
for all I know, treatment centers could be shutting their doors right now and I wouldn't even know.
Right. Yeah. So
So are you going out on the streets at all, Colin?
No, I'm contracted to the police department, and they're doing everything by phone with me right now. So they do not want any extra people out there that could contract COVID.
So do you have a contract with other cities in the county or just Anaheim?
No, I'm just with Anaheim. My general rule of thumb, I work for social model recovery systems, is if somebody wants help, damn it, let's do anything that we can to offer them the help and get them whatever they need. So that's, I work in any county. In fact, I was just working on a case for San Diego right now. Just because the guy's in Orange County wants help, it's like, well, I don't want to leave him out on the street to die,
Mhm.
Right. I was trying to.
So I don't know too much about the situation in Stanton right now. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been over there, so I haven't really heard.
Well, real briefly, this is the situation. There's about maybe 25, 30 homeless with tents out there. The sheriff kind of goes over that area because they don't have their own city police. They're letting them camp there. A lot of them have. I got a list of 17 people, phone numbers that want help, either shelter or sober living. They said, and then there's more that wanted help, but they didn't have phones. So I sent that list to the mayor. He said, I'll personally, help them. And then eventually he called me after I sent him all the numbers. He probably didn't think I was going to get that many numbers. And he goes, okay, what is it that you want? And I told him, I said, can we get some land, for them maybe? And he's just kind of getting ideas. I told him, he said, you look into that. And then it didn't happen. And then he said that the county was going to get like three big, or not three, but multiple tents, big giant tents, right? Where they could come and get health care and health screenings and that kind of stuff. So that won't be for another 2-3 weeks, though, he said. So we're still waiting for that to manifest. But until then, I'm thinking to myself, they still don't have any bathrooms there. The parks aren't open there in Stanton. And I talked with Brooke Weitzman, and she didn't really push too hard, I guess, to get them to create at least open bathrooms at the parks. So they're just kind of out there. No service is really being provided. And I posted also in the Orange County Recovery Collaborative to try and get like a van, with people that are working with recovery to come out there and pick up people if they can, and no response. So a lot of dead ends right now as far as even just trying to get any of these folks anywhere. Unfortunately, that's kind of where the Stanton situation is. If that answers some of your questions.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem is, at least with what I do, it's so individualized. I mean,
Yeah.
you've been out there. I have, I've got a very condensed screening that I do.
Yeah.
The full screening is actually like 20 pages long. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
So I tried to just limit what's the key information that I need.
Yeah.
And since it's so different from individual to individual, it's not like I have one organization that could kind of deal with an entire group of people, because it's going to be a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the whole COVID thing has just kind of thrown everything into a loop. When they were talking about doing tents with you, was that for homeless before COVID, or was that for
No, that's recent. I just talked to him on the phone just like last week. Yeah.
And I talked to Matt Bates from CityNet, and he said that they're gearing up to do something, but it's not until like May 15th or something like that, the middle of May. Wow. So I don't know what they're dragging their feet on, because it just seems ridiculous that it would take them that long to get their shit together on that.
I don't know. I wonder if it's because of the number of people that can be assembled in one area. Maybe they're trying to wait until that gets lifted. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Oh, well, that could be. I mean, there's that game. They just leave them where they're at and just, take their risks.
Well, as far as assembling essential services, they're allowed to assemble for essential services, just like people can go to Walmart and a bunch of people can assemble to get their groceries. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's all still okay. That's why they can still be in the shelters assembling, and so I don't think that's probably one of the holdups. But
Well, you do create a situation if you put everybody in these more concentrated areas. You create a higher risk situation. So
yeah,
they're
absolutely.
trying to figure that out. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think the original idea I had with the mayor to get a campsite where they could be separated would be better, and he was for it too. But it sounds like maybe he didn't get the council support. He said he needed their support as well, and my guess is he didn't get it. So
Well, I know that with that federal judge ruling when they shut down the riverbed way back when,
yeah,
part of that stipulation was that all cities had to have their own shelter so that they could provide homeless services.
hmm
And I think the cities are running into a problem where not in our backyard.
oh
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Yes, they need that, but nowhere near my
right,
house.
yeah, yep,
And I don't know that there's any solution around that. I mean, you're going to be in opposition no matter what side you're on.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of roadblocks for sure.
And I know that some cities have been talking about, vacant land that's not being used and building something like kind of what it sounds like Stanton was talking about doing, where there would be
Yeah,
kind of a tent area,
yeah,
temporary housing.
hmm It's like it's almost like the best thing we can do right now is just bring them food and clothes and pray for them, and I don't know. But yeah, and there is of course the 7-day detox right across the street there. But then after that, where do they go and where do they put their stuff if they go into the detox? That's about another issue. Um,
Did you ask CityNet? I know that they used to have storage containers that were ran by CityNet way back when, but I
yeah,
don't know if they do that.
they got rid. They had the one in Anaheim up off of La Palma Park,
yeah,
or I think actually Mercy House was running it, but there was, I don't know what they've done on that, but there's there's a lot of challenges. In my opinion, is some of the people, they're not ready to get off the streets. They'll say they are, and that they'll play that game of I want to get off the streets, but then they'll not really make that effort. So I haven't had I've only been down there a couple times, and I haven't had too many direct conversations with people. I'm just going by my experience with dealing with people that are on the streets.
well, this is
And
what was shocking though, Jay. Is like normally when I go out and do outreach, we'll bring food and talk to them about the Lord or things like that. But then I'll say, "Hey, you guys interested in going to sober living?" And 99% of the time, they usually say, "No, not really," or whatever. Like you said, not 99, maybe less than that. But um, this time we went out and people kept coming up saying they wanted it. And it was really, really weird. That one camp at Dale and Monroe. Now the other one, it wasn't like that. We went to the one on Mercantile or whatever. It wasn't like that. But this one, yeah. So I was just like, wow.
How many people are over there at Dale and Monroe?
There's a
I
good
think there's about
30.
40. I
Yeah,
think
maybe
there's
40.
about 40 people.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
about
wow.
40 people. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
And the numbers, they're growing.
Yeah.
We were there on Sunday, and it increased by 10 or 15 people, probably 10 people the next
Yeah.
day. I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been people were moving around. Sometimes people will share a space and then they'll like spread out. So it could have been that, but it
Mhm.
looked like they were in more spaces. Somebody started piling up on the other side of the street too and stuff.
Yeah.
So Colin, are you going out at all, driving around or anything?
No.
Do you have kids too? You
I've
have
got kids and elderly parents.
Oh wow.
So
Oh,
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Walls are up.
I'm climbing the walls over here, but
Yeah. Hmm.
So you're still working though, where you're making some money anyways, right? They didn't lay you
Oh
off.
yeah. I mean, I'm contracted. My numbers are still good, but my referral is really gone since this all started. From detox to sober livings to, even shelter places that I know of. I get lists from LA because that's where my nonprofit operates mostly is LA. We've got like 18 programs out there. So I do know of like affordable housing and stuff like that in LA County. But a lot of the guys that I've come across in Orange County, they don't want to relocate that far.
Yeah.
Right.
They feel like they have their family and their sense of community where they are now. So,
So are there, do you have a list of sober living places?
yeah, I mean, it really depends on what's going on with that person. That's where the kind of that brief screening that I do with them helps me decide which places they quit. The problem with going directly from the streets into sober living is they've got to be able to pass that P test, drug test right off the bat, because they're worried about what if this person has a seizure in the next 48 hours after we just admitted him, then what do we do? And obviously there's the whole legal, lawsuit side of treatment, which kind of presents a roadblock,
Yeah.
But you still think that the cities the treatment centers are taking people?
Yeah, quite a few of them. Yeah, I know of a couple that were shut down, but quite a few of them still are. They just have to meet their criteria to get in. A lot of my treatment centers have now working with some of the big testing facilities and will actually run a 24-hour COVID test now to do admits, which is something totally new.
So they'll do a test and then they have to stay out on the streets until after they get the
for
result
24 hours until they have the results of the test, and then they'll take them in.
Well, that's
And
kind of
obviously there's a flaw with that because they're out
because
of
they could get it in the 24 hours. Oh my God.
I have other treatment centers which have actually set up quarantine areas.
Oh, right.
And I still question how effective that's going to be. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so I don't completely know the medical aspect of COVID. Yeah. But I'm thinking you're still in the same facility. There's still contact with objects. So I don't even know if that's an effective way that they're handling it, but at least they're trying. So,
So do you know of anybody that's got COVID-19? Coronavirus?
I had a family member die the first week that it hit California.
You had a family member?
Friend of the family. Yeah, friend of the family, yeah.
Wow.
But I've known him since I was a little kid. So he was up there in age. I want to say he was 80.
Oh, wow.
So he was an older guy, but he was a healthy guy. Didn't have anything going on other than being old. So that kind of scared me, and that's part of the reason why I'm like, okay, I'm quarantined. I'm done.
Yeah.
And obviously, working for the city and for the police department, they don't want the lawsuit if I did get really sick that they'd be worried I'd sue or something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, Jay, regarding the city council, so I guess maybe we could they're meeting tonight. We could I don't know if we can is there a way to call in or not or anything like that?
No, they don't let you. You get. It's the same thing as Anaheim. If you go on in that Stanton group, you can see the answers. Or
email
the process that you have to go through.
Yeah.
To send stuff. Maybe I'll send something today for them. I went and I shot a video down there, and then I boosted it out. What pisses me off about that corner there's a church right on the corner. That, God, I would think that they could do more. And but once again, it's part of because of the coronavirus, there may not be things. So I don't know. We'll see. Something might happen.
Yeah.
There's only so much that can be done here. That ultimately God's got to be in control. So
yeah, I think he is. I think the good thing is, though, I think that our work is putting it on the map, the whole camp, and exposing it, and people are getting involved, and I don't think it's in vain. That's for sure. I know, for the fact that the mayor called me after I emailed him, that was kind of a neat breakthrough. So, I just think we have to, like you say, it's God's plan, God's will, however He wants to do it. But just keep walking in with Him, and I think there'll be solutions though eventually coming out of this. It's just, but yeah, I mean, like the mayor said though, 2 or 3 weeks we're gonna have these big tents. I don't know how effective those are gonna be in keeping people healthy and sober, but hopefully they're good. But in the next 2, 3 weeks though, I don't know. It'd be nice to have an option for them.
I don't know. I'm keeping my ears peeled. I kept hearing that the governor had set aside all of these hotels.
Oh yeah.
How
they're
come I
negotiating.
haven't had access to a single hotel anywhere in the state that I'm aware of?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering, like, where are those and who's
Yeah.
actually giving the referrals to get in?
Yeah. And I know there's one hotel or motel that they're,
CityNet has got access to one.
well, they're gonna have one in Stanton just for the COVID people though, for the homeless COVID. They're gonna have like one motel, I guess, in Stanton, like 74 rooms, I think it is. But as far as non-COVID type people that are homeless, yeah, I haven't heard much options there either. So there were about was some 39 trailers or so for Anaheim I saw recently that they parked for some of the homeless. I think that those are for COVID too, probably. But yeah, we got about 6 people in the motel rooms in Buena Park, but that was just kind of a little piecemeal thing they did. It wasn't like for everybody that's homeless there, but motel rooms I think is an awesome solution. I'm sure there's a lot of more empty motel rooms now that they don't have the tourism like it was, I would think. Um, just yeah, it's I think that's probably the ideal solution, really. It seems like everyone's happy with it. The homeless are happy with it, and the residents are happy when they don't see them on the street. And it worked great in Buena Park. It solved the solution. Boom, right there. I didn't have any more complaints from the homeless. I didn't have, complaints from the people that were looking at the homeless. So it was a good solution.
I just don't know how sustainable that would be from a
Yeah.
business side point for those hotels.
Yeah, if
But
county,
I kind of feel like anything at this point I feel like the country is in a state of let's see how many lives we can save and we'll figure out the ramifications later.
yeah,
So I kind of wish the hotels would get a little bit more on board with that and kind of adopt that theory.
Well, the county has quite a bit of money. I'm supposedly, from what I understand, right, millions of dollars. They've been chipmunking supposedly. I don't know how much millions is left, but I think that the money might be there. Maybe they're not going after it that hard, or know exactly how to get to it, or maybe they're not letting the purse strings go. These county folks. I know that Michelle Steele is the supervisor over Stanton, so I don't know what she's doing. Doesn't seem like she's doing too much though with this issue. I mean, I emailed her too and didn't hear nothing back. So I really think it'd be great to have her involved. I think she needs to be.
Well, I'm surprised that the mayor even got back to you that fast because I get feeling that anybody in a decision-making kind of position right now, they're probably swamped.
Yeah, he was really cool too. Yeah, we had a really good multiple. I got his number now too. I can call him whenever. But I kind of know his position now, so I'm not going to keep bothering him as far as too much. But I know that he doesn't necessarily have all the power because he has to get the council to also vote with them. And it sounds like he's pretty decided to just let things be as they are until these bigger tents show up. But it'd be great to get some help to him before that, I think. I know people would appreciate too that are looking at them and complaining.
Well, I know in Anaheim when COVID was first, talking about how it could spread to the U.S. So this is what, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
The cops had me out, man. We were doing outreach in every place. I went to places I'd never even been before in Anaheim, and they're like,
wow.
Services, get the hell out of this city. But I don't think all the cities have those kind of resources to offer. So
yeah. Did you guys ever go to that camp in Stanton?
No, because when I'm with Anaheim, it's all Anaheim area only.
Yeah. I guess that camp has been there for 5 years, I heard.
So are your kids school age, Colin?
Yeah, they're all little. My oldest is 11, then I got a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old.
So how are the kids dealing with this?
Oh man, I had them for 2 weeks. Their mom split up with me, so she's got them now. But I had them for 2 weeks solid over here, and man, we've done every board game, finger painting, any kind of indoor activity you can think of. I've done in the last 2 weeks. I've painted little girls' nails for 2 weeks. You name it.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
They're climbing the walls. I'm worried about what kind of education they're getting right now, but
Right. I
Yeah.
was talking to another friend in Minnesota, and he works for the school district, and a lot of the kids are not replying back on the online learning and stuff. They're not engaging with it. So that's an issue.
yeah, it's difficult. That's what my girlfriend is a teacher in Chino
Okay.
at a public school, and she said it's just been a nightmare, and they keep changing even for her, kind of like with us with the homeless stuff. They keep
Mhm.
changing. Nope, we're going to do it this way. Nope, never mind. Scrap that. Do it this way.
Yeah. Never know
There's
what's gonna happen next.
yeah,
Yeah.
society as a whole. I mean, every level of society is is hit this major wall, and nobody
Yeah.
really knows how to deal with it.
hmm
No.
So, anyways, I'm blessed, and I'm where I'm staying. I got an AA meeting so we can meet in person. There's because I'm at this sober living motel, the Americana. You know, the city of Anaheim purchased this property here. Do you know where the Americana is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the city purchased the property and they're relocating us. So they're offering me $45,000 for a down payment on a house or some kind of a rental subsidy and stuff. So I'm praying that I can find, because one of the things I'd like to do is set up some kind of a sober living. I need to find some partners because $45,000 for a down payment still isn't much here in California, which
Not in Orange County. It's not going to go far.
I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know what God has in store, but yeah, there's like 30 people here. Not everybody is in sober mode. I mean, they're all supposedly sober, but people are big and pretty stressed out. But at least we can have regular in-person meetings. Although you get kind of tired of hearing the same people over and over again. But that's the nature of AA. So that is, a bless. I celebrated 34 years April 1st.
Holy moly. Congratulations, man. Way to go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's pretty awesome. But I don't know.
I'll hit on May 5th. If I make it, I'll hit my 19 years. So
That's awesome.
Wow, good job.
So are you doing any Zoom meetings for AA and stuff? Are you even doing any or?
I'm talking with just my sponsors, and I've got a group of old timers that I consider my co-sponsors.
Right.
So I'm just checking in with all of them each night and stuff, and kind of talking about the day. And
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Is there anything else here, Joshua?
I think it's probably good. I guess. Yeah, I'll let you get to your meeting, Jay. And thanks for everyone joining. And maybe next time we'll get some other folks. But you guys are two. I definitely wanted to get you guys' heads
Oh,
together.
you know what? Back up. Do you have a list of like treatment places, Colin, that are willing to take people? Like a phone list or?
yes and no. Best bet is if you get somebody that wants to go in, give them my direct cell number and tell them to call me. If I don't answer, tell them leave a message. It just means I'm busy, but I will get back to them.
Right. Okay.
I said I got to kind of screen them. Each place has kind of different criteria of what they're looking for. So
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Colin. Colin, can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you give us a bunch of your cards or something maybe to give out? Or do you have cards with your number on it?
I'm gonna go.
I've got two cards. I've got ones that
Okay.
have mine and CityNet's info, and then I have just my business card. So next
Okay.
time I see you or I'm out that way, I'll bring a bunch.
Okay, great. Okay,
Okay.
thanks,
All
Colin.
right, guys. Have
Wrap
a good
it up.
one.
You too, buddy. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. So that was our meeting we just had. A lot of you heard. Feel free to share it. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook and pray we can get a lot of help for those that need, get them into sober living and hopefully get more people set free. That's my hope. If you want to help with the ministry, also getting food, clothes, things like that to these people, let me know. You can email me at servingjesus99212@yahoo.com. That's servingjesus99212@yahoo.com. That was Colin from Drug Free Anaheim and J. Cole. He does a lot of advocacy work for the homeless too. And anyways, thanks for your prayers support. May God bless you all as you seek first His kingdom always.